Welcome, microphone check. Welcome. We got Joey Gallo in the house today, aka the Slugger. What's up, Joey?
What's up, big dog?
AKA the baby Babe Ruth. You know what I'm saying?
Skinny Babe Ruth.
Skinny Babe Ruth. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Lions Den, bro. Good to have you in here, man.
I know, Lions Den. That's why I saw Krabby's interview and we're trying to figure out the name. I like that.
Yeah, thanks,
That
man.
fits.
You big time, bro. So I got to get on appointments. You know what I'm saying? to holler at you and stuff, man.
Nah, I
know?
got plenty of time now. I'm
Dang,
just hanging
man.
out.
Hey, tell everybody about your flow, bro.
My flow
yeah,
right now is just out of control. I mean, my guy's taking care of me for sure. It's an expensive haircut, so I mean, I gotta hype it up a little bit.
Oh,
he does a
man.
good job though.
Yeah, Chris is.
I was ugly about 2 days ago. Now I'm.
He got you right.
Oh, I might start modeling. I don't know.
Oh, watch out, man. Watch out, baby. Hey, man. So, man, where do we start, man? I mean, we can go 1,000 different, directions right now. But, man, part of the reason why, wanted to kind of interview you guys is just to get a different layer. You know what I'm saying? Different lens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to kind of get beyond the surface and into some things that, might, inspire somebody, might empower somebody, and might just, create a situation whereby it's just like, man, now I know why he does certain things in certain situations, which is the essence of psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Why do certain people do certain things in certain situations? Right. So, started off, man, you from Vegas.
Yeah.
From Vegas, man. Talk to us about home, man, and talk to us about the most influential person in your life coming up, man.
Man, I mean, home, obviously Vegas, it's a little bit different than people imagine it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, like, I'll meet people and be like, oh, I'm from Vegas. They're like, what? I'm like, not like that Vegas. Like, I'm, like, I live in the house. I didn't, wasn't on the, like, in the casinos and all that. But it was like normal upbringing, like I was in the suburbs. I actually went to a private school, high school wise. But I think, like, growing up, my mom was, like, the biggest influence on me because it's funny because, like, my dad was as well, but my mom, me and her, like, we were the same person, same mentality, same, like, work ethic. And she knew how good I was at baseball, and she, like, would not let me live up to that potential. Like, it was, like, always, like we're going to, because she knew how much I loved it as well. So she always was on me about, doing schoolwork, making sure, like, I'm working in baseball, making sure I'm doing everything right, my swing, everything.
Yes.
So she's like my first coach too.
She knew early on.
I mean, they knew,
talent.
like, I mean, I was 3-4 years old.
Yeah.
Like, it was different. So they knew that it was like, all right, we're gonna push him, but they knew how to do it in the right way. It wasn't there wasn't force. If I didn't want to play it, they wouldn't have made me, but I loved it. So they were definitely, my mom probably in general was the biggest influence on me.
That's great, man. In terms of you I mean, obviously you're getting a lot of pub, big home run hitter. You know what I'm saying? All over ESPN.
The flow, man.
You know what I'm saying? The flow. You're over here knocking out popcorn carts. You know what I'm saying? In stadiums. You know what I mean? What would you say is the biggest misconception about Joey? I know that you're not, trolling social media and saying, oh man, what are they saying about me here, there. But what would you say for people who don't know you, what is the biggest misconception about you?
There's a few. I think one of the biggest ones, I think, is they think I'm like a dumb hitter. They think that a lot of the people used to think that I was just a big, goofy, unathletic dude up there trying to slug and put a ball in the seats like back in the old days or something.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually, my baseball IQ, I take pride in. Like, I'm very smart in baseball.
Tell them, baby. Tell them.
And that's what, for me, is like, when we were growing up, my mom, we used to literally sit down and write. She would write out situations on the board. And instead of doing homework, like, she would be like, okay, first and third, like, 1 out, balls hit here, what do you do with it? And like I would be like, okay, you go, double play, 1 out, okay, let's turn 2 because we get out of the inning. Like, and this is like, I'm like 8, 9, 10 years old.
Your mom's doing this. This is mom's with a whiteboard, just saying, hey, Joey, what you got?
And it's funny because we'd be in there, like, it was a room like this. It was like one of our guest rooms, and we'd just be, about to do, homework.
Yeah.
And we'd do homework and be like, we just got, like, for us, it was family. It was like, just get the homework over with.
Yeah.
Make sure you're gonna pass, and let's get on to like what the future's gonna be. But that's I actually studied it.
That's
You know,
awesome,
like
dude.
it was one of those things that it was like I took pride in knowing baseball and like
Yeah.
being a smart baseball player. So I think that was one of the things that used to frustrate me was just people thought that I had no baseball IQ and I just was
Wow.
just like up there just swinging out of my ass every at bat. But I'm always really thinking a lot when I'm playing the game.
Wow, man.
And then the other one is probably just it being unathletic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming up through the minor leagues, it's different now because people see me I'm on TV every day now up here, so they see, okay, wow, he's actually pretty athletic. But I remember in the minor leagues, it was like big, slow guy, you know, like every report was like, I'm slow. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not
Yeah.
slow. Like, I'm playing center field. I don't understand how I could be like playing center field and be slow. But yeah, I think those are the two misconceptions as me as a baseball player, at least.
Dude, I never knew that, man, about your moms, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
intense, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love to do it, you know, but it was one of those things like we actually studied the game
Dang.
before even got to, you know, high school level. I mean, I was 12 years old doing that.
You know what it reminds me of? There's a quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens right now. He was a Heisman winner. I forget his name.
Lamar?
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Uh-huh.
They said that his mom used to strap it up, like put pads on, and
Wow.
they would go and hit.
Dang, that's dedication.
Yeah,
though.
man.
Well, that's exactly. I mean, that's exactly how it is. Like, I mean, my mom would flip to me and like, you know, I would hit in the
Oh my
cage, you know, with my mom and stuff. And obviously my dad was always, you know,
Yeah.
my coach, but it's different, you know, having that when your mom's like that passionate about
Yeah.
it as well.
That's intense, man.
So it was pretty cool, you know. I mean, that's why I think my IQ for baseball is so high. Because
Wow,
like,
man.
I was always thinking about it. I was always studying it.
Wow, man. God bless the moms, man.
Yeah,
Moms
yeah.
and the
Shout out for
dads.
the moms.
Yeah, man. Wow. Hey, so when you look at you know human life, right?
Yeah.
Particularly you know when you're growing up and you're young, right? We all have you know critical life events that happen to us that mold and shape us to the people that we ultimately become, right? Whether they're good or whether they're bad, right? Some, you know, an example of a critical life event might be, you know, the passing of a loved one,
Yeah.
right? Or a critical life event might be, man, like my first major league hit,
Yeah.
right? What are, you know, give me one good, one bad, you know, possibly that has happened in your life that has made you or has molded you into becoming the Joey Gallo that we see today?
That's a good question. There's a lot of events that I think happened that help mold me to who I am. I think one for me, like baseball speaking a little bit, but when I was a freshman, I was on I was on the number one team in the nation, our school.
Bishop
And
Gorman, right?
Bishop Gorman, yeah.
Bishop Gorman.
So it was like a really highly like,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was legit there,
Yeah.
like D1. And I remember I thought I was gonna be JV, you know, and I was just like, whatever, like I'll be JV this year, and I'll go on and I'll be a sophomore, and maybe I'll make varsity. And it's like my mentality was, it was kind of weak, but I was just like, all right, whatever, like I'm happy with where I'm at. And I remember one day, I mean, in the middle of, and we got like, there's like 80 people, you know what I mean? Because this is like this varsity, JV, JV2, you know, there's a lot of teams. And one day, I remember my coach gets in my ass, you know, and we're like sitting in just like, and I wasn't really even doing anything, but he was like, there's so much more out of you that you have no idea about. And he's like, you can be the best, you know, whatever player on this team right now. You're so talented. You're going to be a Major League Baseball player. You don't even know it. Oh, and like,
How old were you?
I was like, I think I was 15, probably 15 at the time. And these are like, I'm with you, 18-year-olds,
Yeah.
like men. And I was like, and I remember like going back home. I remember I sat in the shower for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I was like, he's like, you can literally be starting on this team right now. And I didn't even think about the possibility because I was limiting myself, you know. And I remember that as a life event. And I ended up making varsity. I ended up starting. We won state, we're number one in the nation. I was freshman player of the year for, you know, the whole country. But that was like one of those events in my life where I was like, I had to literally be called out on, and it made me better. Another thing, probably one of the worst, lowest parts of my life was my season in 2016. Was in AAA and played okay, but like came up here and got dominated. Struck out 20 times out of 25 at bats. Got booed. Was
by
like,
the home by the
yeah at home.
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough, man.
Whereas like the year before they were chanting my name when I made my debut, and then I was getting booed.
Yeah.
And then I was 21, 22, so it was that was really tough, and that was where I kind of started considering like I don't know if I can really do this. You know, like I remember telling my agent at the time, I was like, I'm starting to look into like other stuff.
Wow.
And he was like, I remember he looked at me like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think I can, like, I don't think I'm good enough,
Yeah.
you know? And it was one of those low points in my life. And I remember that off season I talked with you. You came out to Vegas.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And it was that was the off season. I was like struggling, like, and we talked about stuff, for like, what was it, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. And
in that Chinese food, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was Elephant Bar, I think it was called. But that was like one of my lowest parts. I remember my mom was like, I've never seen him like this depressed. Like I was depressed because like this was my life, And I think I didn't handle things the right way, but it definitely opened my eyes in terms of like, I had to change things. I had to grow. I had to learn from it. And I was like, I could have took it one or two ways, and like I could have let that change my path and say, okay, you know what, this ain't for me. Smell you later. I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna do something else. But I was like, you know what, I had to look in the mirror and say, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna learn from this and get better. And then obviously next year, like, went on and hit 40 home runs, and like I was like, I couldn't believe it. It's funny because like I hit .040 that year, and then the next year I hit 40 home runs. So it was like I had one hit.
Wow. And
like it was just like, for me, it was almost like speaking to me, like you put in the work, like you grew from it, and now you finally got the reward.
Dang, man. I mean, that's so rich right there. It's one of those things where you could have went left, you could have went right. You know what I'm saying? You could have went back home, take your ball back home.
Yeah, and I was close. Like I was. It was a weird part of my life because it's the first like real failure where you're actually on the public stage, where like people are watching you fail and like having an opinion on it and booing and like laughing, and it's like it's a different type of failing, when you're on this stage. So I like I said, like what we talked about was like I could have went two different ways, and I said I'm not gonna look back on my life and say I let that moment or that season changed my career. Like I deserve to work and see where it goes and try to learn from every single like mistake that I make, or every success, every failure. I'm going to learn something from it.
Cool.
So.
We're back. We had to get a new memory card in there because everybody keeps on dropping these gems, man. All this wisdom, man. You know what I'm saying? So we back here with Joey Gallo. That was awesome, man. That was awesome as far as things that you shared in terms of critical life events. I mean, that speaks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess the next question I got for you is this: would you consider yourself a perfectionist? Yes or no?
Yes.
And in what way?
Just, I mean, in everything in life, like especially baseball. Obviously, I'm never, I'm happy. I don't want to say I'm never happy. Never content.
Yeah.
Like all-star this year, whatever. Like I'm not.
Hey, congratulations on that, by the way, man. Are you kidding me? I mean, you went from asking your agent, telling your agent, hey, I don't know if this is for me, to an all-star. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, look at you, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely weird. I never thought I'd be an all-star game. But yeah, I'm never content. I always feel like I can be better in every single category in baseball. But same with life. I mean, even just like the way I dress, the way I talk to somebody, chasing girls, whatever. Like I want to be the best possible at those things. So I would definitely consider myself a perfectionist in things that I care about. There's like in school, I cared, but I knew that I was going on a different path. So a lot of my time and energy of being a perfectionist was spent on baseball.
On your craft, yeah.
And instead of necessarily, mathematics. So I had to kind of balance that out.
Shoot, man, launch angles, velo. Yeah, this is a different type of mathematics now, man. That's what's up. Hey, so everybody, within this realm deals with failure, right? And sometimes it plays on your confidence. Sometimes it plays on your belief in yourself, right? What would you say is the biggest thing that attacks your confidence for you personally?
That attacks my confidence?
Is it bad calls? Is it negative self-talk? Is it what other people say? Like what gets at you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it used to be what other people say, and then I started to learn how to flush that out and kind of just be, care about the opinions of myself and my teammates and the people that I care about. I think negative self-talk, that's a big one.
Yeah.
I think, and it usually starts with bad at bat, and then bad at bat again, another bad at bat, and you got 3 strikeouts, and you're going, oh God, here we go. And that confidence starts slowly, dropping a little bit because you're not having success. We're relying on, okay, if I'm having success, my confidence is high. When I'm not having success, then my confidence is low. And that's a tough thing, especially in baseball, because it's, you go 3 for 4 one game, and then you go 0 for 5, and you're like, what just happened? Like, now I don't feel good. So I think obviously performance is what usually lowers my confidence, and then that self-talk starts coming in. It's like, man, this guy's better than me. Oh, I can't hit this guy, and instead of the opposite way of thinking about it.
So it's kind of like a cascade effect. One thing leads to another thing, leads to another thing for you.
Yes, yeah, and that's what's crazy about baseball, and I think that's what you see. People say, "Oh, he's in the zone. Oh, he's hot right now." What does that really mean? That means, like, first off, his confidence is through the roof. That guy's going up there, and he's not thinking about anything besides, I'm going to hit a ball over the fence right now. When you're cold, there's a reason for that, because your confidence is down. You have no confidence. So you're up there and you're chasing success and you're trying to swing at everything. So confidence to me is like one of the biggest things that factors into having success on the field, because it's vital in terms of, I feel like I have confidence, I'm going to have success, then usually you're going to have more success thinking like that. But I mean, there's times even throughout this season, which I'm having a good year, but this season I was like, for weeks at a time, I was like, man, I show up to the field, I'm 0 for 4, feeling like I didn't even play the game yet, because I'm just, you're just beating yourself up. So I think training your confidence and always trying to have confidence while you're on the field is a big thing.
So you don't have to give out the secret sauce, but obviously you are in a different place this year, mentally, cognitively, your approach, everything, than you were last year, even 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Even 3 years ago. What has been the thing that has helped you to maintain that, and dare I say, even become a better version of yourself, Joey Gallo? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking about this confidence, this confidence
Right.
issue, like what have you done, man?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff it's obviously stuff that we've worked on, me and you, that we've talked about. And for me, a lot of it is trying to understand the bigger picture, and not get caught up in, like just what's happening on the field. And like one thing that me and you talked about a lot was being able to separate Joey the person from Joey the baseball player. Joey the baseball player goes out in the field and I give it 110% effort every time. Hopefully I have success. I know, like, I'm not always going to. And then once I get off the field, it's tough to let it go, but I've found ways to let it go now, and once I drive away from the field, it's like, all right, like, I'll probably think about it on the way home. I get home and it's like, all right, I'm going to, either read, I'm going to, play a video game, I'm going to talk to somebody, I'm going to, I'm going to get my mind off it. I'm just going to be a normal human being again. And when I get to the field, we start back up. Okay, I got to figure out what happened, what's going on. Like, I got to get better. But that's what I didn't do in the past. And I remember, like, in the off season, like I was telling you, that one season I had, I remember, like, vividly going out with my friends, and this is in, like, November, right? Like, baseball's not even going on at this time. and I'm like going out with my friends, and I'm like thinking about the season. I'm like, and I'm like we're going to hang out, we go to a bar, whatever. And I'm thinking about the season. I was like embarrassed, like I was like, do I even deserve to go out? Like I don't deserve to go out. Like I was terrible this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I thought about it because I couldn't separate the two things. I couldn't separate that.
And that carried you. That carried you, and and haunted you even until November.
Oh, I mean, until I swung a bat, in spring training the next year. I mean,
man.
up until it's
wow.
It's crazy. Like baseball's, I don't know, when it's your life, when it's your passion, it's something that it can have that effect. And I never separated the two. I never really separated the fact that, okay, I'm a baseball player, but I'm a human being too, and I'm gonna have these things I got to focus on outside of baseball. I never did. I was just baseball, and I never had to worry because I was always successful.
Yeah.
I was always better. So in high school, I was player of the year every year. That's pretty easy. It's pretty fun. Minor leagues is you're dominating, so it's like, all right, well, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then you get up here, and it's like you get punched in the mouth, and you're like, okay, wait, hold on, what's going on? Like, I got to figure out how to separate. Now I'm depressed when I'm supposed to be happy, because I'm so worried about this. But I don't know. That's one of the things that I think has helped me so far.
That's good, man. That's a good insight. Hey, man, what pisses you off the most, man? What's the one thing that that you can't stand, bro? Like, I can't stand this, or nah, man, that ain't me. What's that thing for you?
Gee, pisses me off the most. That's a tough question.
Come on, man. You thought it was gonna be easy in here, or what?
I know, but I don't really think about. I think for me, I don't like fakeness. I like genuine. So I don't like when people are being fake, or putting on a like an act.
Yeah.
Especially like when they get like in front of cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm a lot nicer in front of the camera, but I'm saying in general, just like I don't like really fake people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I don't know. I wouldn't really say I get pissed off at anything because, one thing like Hunter Pence.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy's awesome.
Next level.
And the one thing that he's taught me a lot is like, it's just show love. Even for people that aren't showing it back. So I don't get pissed off at things really anymore. And this is like how he's kind of like taught me things like this. But it's like I don't get pissed off at things because this is my happiness. I can control my happiness. So if something's gonna piss me off, then I'm usually gonna try to avoid that thing. So I don't really get too pissed off anymore.
That's good, man.
Like to an extent where I'm like I'm gonna fight somebody or something because it's. I don't want to, I'm gonna control my happiness, and I don't know.
No, that's good. And usually, a lot of times, with somebody that has your type of attitude and disposition, and people are acting some type of way, you always have to remind yourself that it's not you, it's them.
Yes, exactly.
And you just got to keep loving them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Would you consider yourself a competitive person?
Yes.
Okay, so this leads me to my next question. Everybody's competitive, right?
Yeah,
especially up here.
I'm sure everyone say yes to that.
Yeah. So what makes Joey Gallo even more competitive than Joe Schmo?
In what?
In anything, bro. Anything.
Because
oh yeah, I'm competitive. Oh yeah, I'm competitive. Like, what makes you different? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what makes you different?
For me, it's depends what it is. Obviously, baseball wise, it's like for me, I'm competitive nature in baseball is I care more.
Okay.
Like I honestly believe that, and obviously I think talent and ability and being able to put those things together is that. But I'm really passionate about baseball. Like since I was like 2 or 3 years old. In terms of whatever, like video games, board games, I hate losing in those too.
What's your board game of choice?
I haven't really been playing too many board games anymore. I mean, we used to play like Life. You remember that game, the board game Life?
Oh yeah.
When we were little, when I was little, but I haven't been playing board games too much. It's usually like video games nowadays. But even when it's like I bring it up, but it's like chasing, like you go into a bar, right, and you're with your boys, and like everybody's single, and it's like there's a little competitiveness. It's like, all right, let's like, who's gonna get this girl? Who's gonna get the hot girl? You know, like, so it's like I'm competitive in that too.
Yeah.
Like I'm competitive in everything because I want that.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I think it's just the degree of what I'm willing to do to you know, to win.
Yeah.
Honestly,
There's levels to this.
there's definitely levels to it. So yeah, I think that's kind of
cool,
why.
man. Hey, so at this stage in your career, right? At this stage in your professional career, would you say that there's anybody or that you're trying to prove wrong, or anything that you're trying to prove to yourself, or have you done that?
I think there's both. There's a lot of people that I want to prove wrong, but it's I don't care as much about that as the fact that I care about proving to myself that what I can do. You know, when I was like, it's almost, to me, it's like I always think about it as like a promise to little Joey. You know, like when I was a little kid.
Talk to me about little Joey. Like what? Like make. I want you to be as specific as you can. When you say little Joey, what are you referring to?
Just when I was a little kid, just having the love for the game and the passion for the game, and like wanting to be the best possible player that I can be.
Gotcha.
I always think about, I don't want to let him down, because we lose. You know, growing up, you lose that perspective and that childhood, you know, mentality a little bit. But I would never want to let myself down as a kid. And I knew if I ever got to the big leagues, like I was gonna, you know, do everything I could to be the best I could be. So that's kind of one of the things that I think about, is like, me as a kid, am I making him proud? And with what I do every day, off the field, on the field, just in general.
You think about that a lot?
Yeah, I do.
That's powerful, man.
I do. And for me, I want to be a good influence as well on the other little Joeys out in the world, you know, so yeah, I mean, I think about that a lot.
That's powerful, man. What would you say, you know, as a professional, as a man, what would you say your biggest fear is right now? What's your biggest fear? If you're being 100%, you know, vulnerable, what would you say is your biggest fear, or one of your biggest fears?
I mean, the biggest fear is always, it's you know, it's tough to say, but it's failure. You know, like that's tough to deal with. You know, like that's what was tough to deal with when I was like not playing good and I was struggling. It was like I was failing, and it was like I wasn't good enough. Like I had to look in the mirror and be like, you're not good enough. You know, and that's tough to deal with for me, because it's like I put everything into this.
Yeah.
You know, like since I said, I was 3 years old, it was all I wanted to do. So if I wasn't good enough, like that's a tough pill to swallow. You know, failing. I think, and so I think that's my biggest fear is failure, for sure. But obviously, there's like we talk about, there's ways to deal with it. But I'm talking about like complete failure, like
it just didn't work out for
that guy. Smell you later, tomorrow. You ain't playing no more. You know, like, or you know, something like that. Like that's
real though, man. That's real tough.
I mean, failing, that's tough to deal with.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow,
but,
man.
I mean, and like lions and snakes and stuff. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying like I'm gonna walk into a snake pit and I'm eating spiders and stuff. I hate spiders too, and bugs. But failing, man.
Tell me how you really feel.
Snake pit to be MVP. I mean, but failing just trumps that. I'll take my chances with the snakes.
Oh, man. It just got real, man. It just got real. Hey, so as we get ready to close, man, I got two more things for you, man.
Yeah.
I want you to take this and this. And if you need an eraser, it's on the board right there. So I've given Joey Gallo, for those of you who are just listening audibly, I've given him a little personal whiteboard and a dry erase marker. And I want you to draw on your inner Picasso right now. And I want you to draw, right? I want you to draw the answer to the question, who are you? Right? When I ask, who is Joey Gallo? Who is he? Right? Not the baseball player, but the man. What would you draw?
Am I drawing a picture or am I drawing a word?
Whatever. It could be a word, it could be a picture, You know what I'm saying? I'll just give you a little hint right now. Like 99% of the people who've done this have all gone stick figures, man. So if you want to go the stick figure route, you can do that. But like if somebody were to ask you, you say, hey, you know what, man? Like, who are you? A lot of people say, oh, well, I do this. That's not who you are, right?
Who am I?
Yeah, who are you, right?
They just draw a stick figure?
Well, they draw different things of them doing different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's different. But if I were to ask you, who are you?
Yeah.
How would you respond to that? And you cannot use baseball player in there. Who are you as a person, as a man, as a citizen on this earth? What would you put? It's getting deep. It's getting deep, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
I see some art forming. I see some art forming on that whiteboard. I'm interested to see this answer, man. All right.
All right. So for me,
so that's the camera right there. So
Yeah.
I want you to put it up to the
this is
camera.
quick. So don't. All right. So what's going on here is like for me, I want to be, like we said, talking about before, perfectionist. I want to be the best that I can possibly be. I want to grow every single day. I'm a grower, honestly. Like, and for me, like this is staircase, and this is me running up the staircase. Always, like no matter what, I'm going up into the sun, the stars, because I'm striving to be a star in everything that I do.
That's
in
awesome.
baseball, in off the field, in anything that I do. So for me, I think that's the best way to explain it. Is I always want to get better. I always want to learn. I always want to grow. And you're going up the staircase. You're not going down the staircase. So
that's awesome,
that's what
man.
I think.
All right, man. I like it, man. I like it. And as we close, that's powerful insight, man. I mean, that's good stuff,
You
dude.
put me on a spot right there.
You got to, man.
Had me panicking.
This is the Lions Den, bro. You got to come with it, man, huh?
Jeez,
You got to come with it, man.
I'm sweating.
Let's go, baby. Hey, so the last thing I have for you, right? So you have a room full of up and coming little Joey Gallos, right?
Yeah.
Highly talented, high IQ, and they want to do
IQ.
high baseball IQ.
Not IQ in general.
Hey, man, high IQ in general, man. Don't give yourself some credit.
I'm street smart. I'm not book smart.
Hey, man. Hey, give yourself some credit, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got all these Joey Gallos in this room that have all come to hear you speak, but you only can give them one pearl of wisdom. One. What are you telling them, man? What are you telling them?
And they're kids.
Yep.
I mean, for me, it's cliche a little bit, but for me, it's just like enjoy every day, man. Like have fun, and especially in the sense of like, in baseball too. Like it's like, I wish I enjoyed more of my younger career, and even today, I wish there's times where I look back, I'm like, and like the season I'm in the major leagues, like I want to enjoy it, I want to have fun, because at the end of the day, like no matter what you do, like if you don't enjoy it, you can be the richest person in the world, money wise. You can have the hottest wife, you can have the best car, whatever. But if you don't enjoy your life, then what's the point of it all? So for me, it's just about have fun, man. Like there's a lot of guys that I played with back in the day that I wish I like had more fun and enjoyed, being on the team with those guys. And I took it for granted. I just wanted to have success or whatever. So for me, it's just enjoy your life, man. Enjoy every single day that you're on this earth. It's like every day is a blessing, and we take it for granted. So just to have fun, man, and enjoy your life. That's it.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, man, Joey, thanks again for joining us.
All right, thank you, man.
I want you to do the honors, bro.
Oh, hit this little thing.